Shopping for a used car as it relates to vehicles, that's the single smartest decision you can make. New cars are a complete waste of money. We all know it. Their value plummets the minute you pull out of the dealer's lot. Everybody knows this, but you know what nobody talks about? The single dumbest thing you can do as it relates to cars. And that's trying to buy a used car in a place you have no business shopping. That's right. There's never been more opportunities to shop for a used car than right now. I can sit here on my computer and shop for cars in Hawaii. I can jump online, attend auctions, and buy cars. It's done all the time. Here's the thing. With all these opportunities, you know what's happened? The used car markets become the playground for those looking to swindle or take advantage of the unsuspecting. Don't be one of those people. When you decide now's the time to buy a new car, you're kind of at a crossroads. Do you shop at a car dealership for your used car, or should you buy your next used car from a private seller? Let's take a look at the pros and cons of each of these opportunities, and then you'll know what's right for you. Before we dive in, let me introduce myself. I'm the Auto Insider. For decades, I've been working in and around the auto industry. And I'm taking all that knowledge and all the information I learned, and I'm sharing with people like yourself. In this video, I'm going to share with you the first step anybody should take before they consider going out and shopping for a used car. Plus, you can go down in the description section and download my complete recommended used car buying process. Remember, I'm the Auto Insider. I'm here to help you. So go ahead and like and subscribe to this video. Plus, I've got some additional helpful information down there in the description section. Make sure you grab it because I'm the Auto Insider. I'm here to save you time and money. Now we're going to take a look at step number one, which is deciding where you should shop for your used car, whether you should be in a dealership or a private seller. A lot of people have a lot of opinions on it. I'm going to tell you how to decide what's right for you. Now let's take a look at my used car shopping sheet so I can help you to determine what would be the right and the wrong place for you to consider shopping for your next used car. As you can see here, I've got it separated in two halves, dealer on top, the pro and the con, and the seller on the bottom, which has pro and con as well. There's reasons for people to shop at both dealerships and private sellers. If you're listening to somebody and they're telling you you shouldn't shop at one or the other, one is completely wrong and one is completely right, guess what? You're talking to someone who doesn't know what they're talking about, particularly when you talk about the private seller. And not everybody is prepared to shop with a private seller. So don't let anybody fool you on that topic. Let's use these facts to determine what would be the right place and the wrong place for you to go ahead and shop for your next used car. Let's dive into the dealer half of this used shopper's sheet. First of all, when we look at a dealer, let's take a look at the pros. Selection. Dealers have multiple cars for you to choose from. You can go to one dealership and look at 20, 30, 40, sometimes 100 different used cars. That type of selection saves you a lot of time. That certainly is a pro. Now let's talk about warranties. Car dealers can offer you a warranty that's not usually available with a private seller, but keep in mind that warranty almost always comes with some sort of a premium. You're going to have to pay for it. But listen, for some people, that warranty is critical and important. So I never completely discount it, but understand, when you buy a product aftermarket, which means anything besides the physical car itself at a dealership, almost always you're going to pay some sort of a premium. When you're shopping at a dealership, they're going to give you payment options that obviously a private seller is never going to be able to match. You can get finance options from the dealership. Sometimes, depending on the car, the model, certain elements, that type of financing won't be available anywhere else. You always should shop your financing. You can find out a lot more on my website and my channel. Financing, the best deal wins. End of story. Shopping at a dealership, convenience is an enormous benefit. They take care of all that paperwork. You don't have to go to places like a DMV. You don't have to worry about what has to be signed in triplicate. You don't have to worry about that there's an issue with a title. They know how to work their way through those things. There is value in that. You pay a premium for it. But if that's something you don't have to do, there's huge value in that. We've all heard stories about horrible car dealers. They're out there, and listen, you don't have to go far to find one. But there are car dealers who really do care about their reputation, and if you do have a problem with a used car, there are car dealers that really will work extremely hard to protect their reputation and in turn try and make right by you. That does fall under the pro part of shopping at a dealership. Now let's take a look at the cons of shopping at a car dealership. First of all, let's talk about the pressure. Car dealers are there for one reason and one reason only, to sell you a car. They're going to put pressure on you. They're going to say, hey, somebody is in here looking at this car. They're going to try and get you to make a decision before you're ready. That's a con. They're professionals, so they do it and they do it well. You'll always pay more for a dealership, all things being equal. That convenience, all those things we just talked about on the pro side of it, you're going to have to pay for that. And that comes with an expense. And you have to understand that the same car with the same number of miles available from a private seller will almost inevitably be cheaper. So you're paying for some convenience, you're paying for some service. Car salesmanship is a con. They are professionally trained. They know how to make you move into a car. One of the dangers when you're shopping for a used car at a car dealership is they're going to try and steer you to the car they want you to buy, which is oftentimes in their best interest, but not always yours. There could be a car on that lot that would suit your needs better. If there's a car that's sitting there growing weeds around it, they want to get that car off the lot. And if they think they can get you in it, you better believe they're going to hit you with every bit of car salesmanship they can muster up. We've looked at the pros and cons of shopping at a car dealership. Do you have any questions? Go ahead, ask them down below. I'm here to help you. Let's take a look at the pros of buying from a private seller. We touched on it a moment ago. Listen, you're going to pay less. Almost inevitably, when you buy from a private party, they don't have the expenses associated that a car dealership has. So you can almost inevitably get a lower price. Additionally, there's negotiation room. Private seller will be easier to deal with. They're not professional salespeople, although many of them are really good, and there are a lot of people called curbstoners out there who do this as a side business, if not a real business, so you do have to be careful of that as well. Taxes. Okay, this is going to change state by state, so please don't listen to me. Talk to your accountant, talk to a tax professional, but there are usually tax benefits if you do purchase from a private seller. Now let's jump into the cons, the negatives about shopping at a private seller. Mechanical risk. When you buy from a private seller, you're buying as is, which means there's no warranty behind this. There's nobody you can complain to. Whatever that car is, when you agree to it and the transaction is complete, you have it with whatever warts, whatever problems it has. It's your problem now, not that other person. That's different at a dealership, but that's why you have to be super careful that you understand what problems there are mechanically, and if you're not sure about how it works mechanically, don't ever buy that car. Paperwork. New car dealer, used car dealership, they'll take care of all that paperwork. But if you're buying from a private seller, you're responsible for knowing has all the paperwork that's properly and required by law been processed? Is everything signed and done right? Has it been put into your Department of Motor Vehicle properly? There is some work behind this. Car dealerships provide that. You pay a super premium for it. You have to do that if you're buying from a private seller. Another negative about a private seller, you can't deal with a trade-in. So you can lose money trading in your present car when you're getting a new car, even if it's a used car at a dealership. But here's the thing. For some people, that convenience is super important. And that's obviously not going to be available when you're dealing with a private seller. This one probably should have been first on this list of negatives and cons about buying from a private seller. Scammers. It's unbelievable right now how many people are out there trying to scam the unsuspected. I have a whole course about buying a used car. In that course, I share with you actual transactions I had with a real car scammer. I identify the scam, I show you what it looks like, but they're out there, and I can tell you at any given point, I can search around online, in 5-10 minutes time, I can find a used car scammer who's trying to steal thousands from the unsuspected people. So know this, they are out there. Another negative about buying from a private seller, you're responsible for all that DMV stuff. Do you have to get temporary plates? Do you have to get a temporary registration? Do you need to get things like emissions testing? There's all sorts of elements. They vary by state. Make sure you understand what you need to do in your state. All of that stuff, you've got to make sure you do, because if that's not in place, if that's not done properly, you could be driving around with a car illegally. Or worse yet, you might not actually be the owner even though you paid your money for it. So you do need to make sure that all that paperwork is done and done properly. We've looked at the pros and cons of shopping at a dealership and shopping from a private party. Do you have any questions? Ask me down below in the questions section. So now I think you got a better idea of what the advantages and the disadvantages are, whether you decide to go shopping for your next used car at a dealership or if you want to go out there and shop among the private sellers. We've looked at the first step of what you should do when you're shopping for a used car. Go ahead in the description section, download my entire process so you will get the the best price you can for your next used car. Remember, I'm the Auto Insider. Make sure you follow me wherever you are on social media and give this video a like and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.